Hey guys, in this video, we are going to see how to animate images using LTX 2.3 and ComfyUI. Later in this video, we are going to make some characters talk the words we give them. Also, LTX 2.3 is available in two variants. One is dev and the other is distilled. In this video, I will be using the distilled variant. So, let's get started. First, let's see what files we need for using LTX 2.3. The download links I am using here are available in the description. First, let's take a look at the LTX 2.3 distilled model. Open the link for the LTX 2.3 model, and here you can find a lot of files. The distilled model I will be using is LTX 2.3 22B distilled transformer only FP8, input scaled v2.safe tensors. Also, if your computer can handle BF16, it is also available here. Use the download buttons to get the models. Next, if your computer cannot handle both FP8 and BF16, you can try the GGUF variant of LTX 2.3. Open the link for the GGUF model. And here we can find a lot of GGUF models. So, depending on your hardware, choose any of these. Next, we need the text encoders. The first is Gemma 312B, so open the link for Gemma. Here we can find different versions of Gemma. Depending on your hardware, download any of these. I will be using the Gemma 312B FP8 scaled. Another text encoder we need is the LTX 2.3 text projection. Open the link for this text encoder, and here we can find the LTX 2.3 text projection BF16. Use the download button to get it. Also, Gemma 3 is available as a GGUF, so you can try any of these GGUF models of Gemma. Keep in mind that Gemma has a lot of censorship. If you want an uncensored version, you can get this Gemma model called Heretic V2. Depending on your hardware, choose any of these. Also, GGUF variants of this Gemma are available. Just go to the parent folder and open the GGUF folder. Here are the GGUF variants, so like I said before, try any of these depending on your hardware. Additionally, there are some uncensored Loras available for normal Gemma. I cannot guarantee it always works, but you can try them. Next, we need the VAE models. Open the link for the VAEs. Here, we have two VAEs available. One is the audio VAE and the other is the video VAE. We need both, so download both of them. Next, we need the Upscale model. Open the link for the Upscaler. Here, we can find various upscale models. The model I will be using is LTX 2.3 Spatial Upscaler X2 1.1, so use the download button to get it. After downloading all the files, let's see where to put them inside ComfyUI. Let's open the ComfyUI folder. As always, I will be using ComfyUI Portable. Open the ComfyUI folder, then open the Models folder. First, let's see where to put the LTX 2.3 model. Find and open the Diffusion Models folder. This is where you should place the LTX 2.3 22B distilled models. Both the safe tensors and GGUF versions should be placed here. Next, for the text encoders, let's go back to the parent folder and open the text encoders folder. This is where we put Gemma. Both the GGUF and safe tensors files go here, as well as the LTX 2.3 text projection model. Regarding the Loras, go back to the parent folder and open the Loras folder. This is where we put the uncensoring Loras. For the VAE models, go back to the parent folder and open the VA folder. This is where both the audio and video VAE models belong. Finally, for the Upscale model, go back to the parent folder and open the folder called Latent Upscale Models. This is where we put the LTX 2.3 Spatial Upscaler X2 1.1 model. Now that you know where to place the files, let's switch over to ComfyUI. So, if you placed the models while ComfyUI was already running, press R on your keyboard to refresh the interface. Now we are ready. I already have a workflow here for generating videos from images. This is a modified version of the workflow that comes with ComfyUI, and you can download it from the description. Since this is a large workflow with many nodes, I'm not going to waste your time explaining every single one. Instead, we'll focus on the major parts so you can start using it right away. First, let's look at the Load Image node. This is where we load the images we want to animate. Right now, I've loaded an image of two characters fighting. I created this using Z-Image Turbo. Next is the Prompt node. This is where you describe the animation you want. I've written a prompt about two characters fighting, and you can also describe the camera movement and background audio here. Also, we have the prompt enhance feature in this workflow. To use it, just set the enhance prompt switch to true. Keep in mind that the current implementation of prompt enhancement is quite slow. There is also another switch for avoiding Gemma's censorship. If you aren't getting the results you want, you can turn this switch to true, but remember there is no guarantee it will work every time. I've also included the Fast Groups Muter node from the RG3 custom node pack, which is useful for quickly muting groups in this workflow. Now, let's look at the model loader nodes. We are using the Load Diffusion Model node to load the LTX 2.3 distilled model. For the text encoders, we are using the Dual Clip Loader, where you can see I have selected Gemma 312B and the LTX 2.3 text projection. We are also using the VAE Loader KJ from the ComfyUI Cage Node's custom node pack. This is very important. The native VAE loader cannot load the VAE from KJ. If you get any errors while loading the VAE, I suggest updating your ComfyUI Cage Nodes pack. In this node, you can see I've selected the video VAE. Also, to load the audio VAE, we will use another VAE Loader KJ node. Finally, for the Upscale model, we will use the Load Latent Upscale Model node. Next, let's focus on the resolution and length group. Here, we can set the output length, resolution, and frame rate. First, let's look at the length. This value is measured in frames. The current value is 241, which means 241 frames. You can add more, but I find that 241 frames give the most stable results. Then we have the width, which is currently set to 1280. If you want a higher resolution, you can change it here, but only do so if your computer can handle it. The height is set to 720. Remember, if you change the width, you should also adjust the height accordingly. For the frame rate, I will be using 24. So, with a frame rate of 24 and a total of 241 frames, we will get a video that is 10 seconds long. The developers of LTX recommend a resolution that is divisible by 32. To meet this requirement, I've added the Resize Image V2 node from the KJ Nodes pack. I have set the divisible by value to 32, which ensures the image is transformed correctly. Since you might use images with different aspect ratios, I've added black padding to preserve the content. If you don't like the padding, you can change the setting to crop, but keep in mind this will cut off parts of your image. To see the output of this node, we have this preview image node. Next is the LTXV preprocess node, which adds compression to the loaded image. Then there is this LTXV image to video in place node, which transforms the image into latent. So let's cut the time. If we zoom out, you'll see the low resolution group. This handles the first pass of the video generation. You'll notice we are using the Sampler Custom Advanced node instead of the standard K-sampler. Then the result of first pass is given to the LTXV Latent Up Sampler node that upscales the latent using the Upscale model and sends it to the high resolution group for the final pass. Finally, we use the Save Video node to save the result. Also, there is a preview as text node in Prompt Enhance group, so you can see exactly what the enhanced prompt looks like. Now that you have a basic understanding of the workflow, let's run our first generation. I've already loaded the image and written the prompt, so let's head over to the Save Video area, hit the Run button, and wait for the results. The generation is complete, so let's play the result. That looks great and very cinematic. Regarding the generation time, it took around 598 seconds, which is roughly 9.9 minutes. While I like the cinematic feel, I actually wanted the fight at a normal speed. One thing you should know, I've tried various prompts for this scene to get normal speed. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Now, let's look at how to make a character of an image talk. First, let's load an image of a single character. And let's select this image of a woman. Now, for the prompt, here is something I've learned. When you want a character to speak, always use short prompts and avoid long descriptions. Let's write a simple one. A woman talking to the camera, then inside the double quotes let's type, "You won't believe where I am right now. This place is incredible." Then let's type background city noise. We don't want the prompt enhancement for this, so let's set the prompt enhance switch to false. Now we're ready, let's run the workflow and see the result. It's complete. Now let's play the video.
You won't believe where I am right now. This place is incredible. You won't believe where I am right now. This place is incredible.
The video turned out quite well. I expected background city noise, but we got background music instead. As you can see that using short prompts works best for speaking characters. Now, let's try making two characters in an image speak to each other. Let's load another image. I'll choose this one of two characters looking at each other. Since there are two people in this image, we need to make sure the model knows which character is saying which sentence. To do that, we can use identifiers like the color of their clothing. In this image, both characters are wearing different colored dresses, so we can use that. Let's type. A woman in a blue dress says, "Did you see that over there?" Then, let's describe the second character. The woman wearing a pink dress replies, "Yeah, I don't think that was here before." Now that the prompt is ready, let's run the workflow and see the result. The generation is complete. Let's play the video.
Did you see that over there?
Yeah. I don't think that was here before.
Did you see that over there?
Yeah. I don't think that was here before.
As you can see, it was also a good one. Like this, we can create a lot of videos of characters talking to each other. Also, I suggest not typing a complicated prompt when you want a character to speak. Just keep it simple and short. I cannot guarantee it will always work, but I suggest doing experiments with LTX 2.3. In my opinion, compared to the last LTX model, this is a really good one. I have also provided the GGUF workflow in the description, so if you are using GGUF models, try the GGUF workflow. So guys, try the model and the workflow and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, see you soon with another video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.